And welcome back into the Sporting Lounge. Thank you so much for joining us. Grab a beer, kick up your feet, of course, and let's get into it. I'm not even going to introduce
I'm
them.
going to try to kick my feet up, but I might knock some stuff over.
Wait, introduce yourself then. At least introduce yourself.
No. When I introduce myself as the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only three-time back-to-back champion. Yeah, that's right. You laughing because none of you. There's 4 people in this room. Only one of us has a ring. Oh wait, he has
only
3 of
one
them.
of us in this little podcast right here is Hey Arnold right now, because look at you, football head.
At least I have a belly button.
And only one of us have Tua Tagovailoa. Only one of us
removable.
Only
I'm like
one of
Mr.
us.
Potato Head.
Only one of us have Tua Tagovailoa, and that's me. So just
you know
remember that. And
Tua's had more concussions than all of us combined. So
yeah.
I've had 3.
I've had double digits diagnosed.
So I don't know. 2 is chasing after you. God. So as always, we've got the mullet man, Travis. We've got Shane. He's becoming a regular. He's loving these breakdowns. And of course, Austin. If you see him floating in outer space, just know he is fighting that astronaut and whooping his ass.
My money's on the astronaut.
Mm-hmm. I would too. I mean, chair force versus astronaut. I mean, he has a really nice chair. Look at that. It was like a lot of money. Anyways, we're here to break that, right?
I got
the PewDiePie one.
I got a tiny tyke soup over there.
Hey, hell yeah.
And I will dunk
That's
on
like
you.
a $500 one.
Jesus.
All right, we're going to be breaking down the AFC East. So Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, and I think this is going to be one of the most competitive divisions in the entire league.
It's been a long time since we can say that, because for the past 20 years, it's just been who's getting second 5 games behind New England.
Right.
So what do you guys think about Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets?
I dig it. I think he does elevate the Jets from last season. Like you said, they were a quarterback away. Do I think they go to the Super Bowl? Like, do I think they're the hot team this offseason, just like where everyone was up talking the Broncos last season at the same point? I think it's a little too early for that, and also considering Aaron Rodgers, do they probably fight for the division with Rodgers? Yes. Is he the same Rodgers from 5 years ago? No. I think we've already started to see his decline, but he's still not done. He's still a top 12 quarterback in the league, even with declining a little bit. But
I think if they make the playoffs, they get bounced in the divisional.
And I think they will too, just because Aaron Rodgers is going on, being in the league 18 years, and Patrick Mahomes already has as many playoff wins as him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So here's the thing that I think with this division. I think only one team is going to make the playoffs.
Let me guess, the Bills.
So someone to throw some. They're the ones that have taken the throne from New England. They're the 3-time in a row division champs. So
now, what I found interesting, the Jets added Rodgers and Alan Lazard. So they went out and grabbed a receiver he was used to. But I think there was a bigger signing that the Jets did that went under the radar. Chuck Clark from the Ravens, the safety. That was a great sign. That was a great addition.
And it sounds like Quentin Williams is actually probably going to re-sign with them. He's not actually going anywhere. That's exactly what they want to hear. They could.
Yep, Quincy Williams. He's re-signed. Solomon Thomas, which was the number 3 pick for Stanford years ago. Over here, he's kind of on a down slouch, but we know he can be good. They re-signed him, so they also retained their other safety who's good, Will Parks. So I'm just saying. Plus, they've got Sauce Gardner. So I'm just saying this team is gonna be scary. Not to mention they added another edge rusher in the draft, and another linebacker.
And their defense was already pretty damn good last year too.
Yeah, their defense was solid.
A lot of people forget how good their defense actually was.
Their defense was dominant. Yeah.
Even though the Lions beat them, they were like the only team in the second half of the season to hold the Lions under 30 points, and they held them to like 17.
So, so this is the division last round: 13-3 Bills, 9-8 Dolphins, 8-9 Patriots, 7-10 Jets. I'm seeing a lot of ways most of these teams end up with at least 10 wins. Like,
All right,
just
so
by
Jets-
roster, not going into their schedule yet, just by roster strength.
Oh yeah.
I
See,
think
that's
as it stands right now, it's going to be Jets, Bills, Dolphins, Patriots.
Jets take
I
out
think it's
top.
going-
Mainly because I don't think Tua is going to stay healthy the whole year.
here's the thing. Like, the reason I say I think only one team is going to make the playoffs is because this is such a good division. Like, it's almost like, when you're in the middle of a division and you're like, oh, this team's weak, but this team's strong, and there's a couple teams that might compete.
Especially
This division is just so tight. Like, each matchup is going to be physical. And being an AFC North fan my whole life, I know what these divisions that are this physical look like. The thing is with these. Sorry.
No, you're
let me
good. Keep
let me
going.
finish up real quick.
You look good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. The thing is
Stop
with these
flirting.
divisions. The thing is with these divisions that are super physical like this is only one team tends to make the playoffs. If you're lucky, you get a second team. Like, look at the division of AFC North from 2005 to 2015, like a whole decade. Like, if you didn't win the division, a lot of times you weren't in. Like, you got in on a luck draw of all the other divisions not having anybody that wasn't good. Like, the 2005 Steelers got in on a 6th seed at I think 1/500. I think it was 9-7. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, the AFC North, watching the AFC North my whole life, I understand now that these tight divisions where you get one guy in, it's one end of the spectrum. Either the division's trash and there's one okay team in it, or a great team even. If they go 13-3, but whatever, that's whatever. Or these really tough divisions that you get physically worn out and you just have these slug matches every couple weeks. That's when teams get ran down. That's when you get into those depth things, and that's the whole reason I think only one team is going to make the playoffs.
I said this division is definitely tight, and to the point where, and with the AFC in general is so deep this season. Like, just look at the quarterbacks in the AFC. You got Josh Allen, Mahomes, Burrow, Lawrence, Aaron Rodgers. Now you have Tua when he's healthy. You have Deshaun Watson at back.
So crazy stat real quick.
Lamar
9
Jackson.
times.
Justin Herbert. And
Kenny
So
Pickett,
interesting.
if you think he's going to take
I was
going to
say, if you lose, if you get swept by one of the, if Miami gets beat twice by the Jets, you go 0-2 to one of your divisional foes in this round, I think you're out.
It's
of the
over.
playoffs. It's
over. Exactly.
That's how tough this division's going to be.
That's
So
what I was
interesting.
saying.
You have to split at minimum.
At
Interesting
minimum.
stat. 9 times since 2006, 3 teams from the same division have made the playoffs.
I would say last year we
Since
had the NFC East. I would
2006?
say the NFC East did it just last year. I'm pretty sure.
3 teams made the playoffs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just Giants,
Eagles, Giants,
Cowboys. Yeah, all
Yeah,
last
they
year.
all made it.
Here's the thing,
NFC
though.
West in 2021, NFC
look
North
at-
in 2020.
Look at how that division is built. The Commanders sucked. If one team sucks out of the division, that makes it a whole
You
different
can't
dynamic.
say they
thing-
suck. They went
No,
8-8-1.
They missed out on the playoffs by 1 win.
1 win.
just like
8-8-1
the
is your
Colts.
worst? That's good.
They were 7-1 to start the season, got blown out by the Lions, and they just handed the baton to the Lions because that's when the Lions started their swing, their reversal.
here's
and
the
the
thing.
Giants went 1 and did the exact opposite. They went 2-8 the rest of the way.
Are we going to say Washington is a playoff team in the next 2 or 3 years? Or are they going to be picking in the top 10? Let's be honest. with
Sam Howell season, baby.
Okay. Well, you can keep living in fucking Cinderella land.
Sam
on your
Howell's
glass zipper.
on-field worth is not as the same as what his memorabilia
Off-field
and
worth
autographs
is.
going is.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So,
him and Brock Purdy's cards are ridiculous right now.
Washington was a weaker team in that division, significantly. So, when you have 3 teams that are good to amazing, that's when you start to get in that position where it's oh, okay, 2 or 3 teams can make the playoffs. And that's how that happens. Is
Okay,
when you're in a division that has 1 or 2 teams that are trash, that's where you see the Steelers and Ravens getting in every year for a 3 or 4 year span. The Steelers and Ravens got
Shane,
in together 3 or 4 times.
if one division was going to get 3 people in, what division would it be?
Unbiasedly,
Unbiased. I think out of all divisions in the NFL, I think it'd be the AFC East or the NFC East. One of the two
I think
East.
Again,
I think it'd either be, if you want me to be honest, I think it'd either be the AFC North or NFC North. And the reason I say that is, yeah, because check it. Like, okay, you got Cincinnati winning the division in the North, AFC North, right?
Yep.
Then you got Steelers/Ravens, and then you got the Steelers/Ravens, whoever right behind. But you got the Browns right beneath them. And I don't think Deshaun Watson's going to recover. Like, I don't think he's going to be the same player. You know, he's going to court every other week because he's got, 24 fucking allegations against him because he likes his taint being rubbed a little bit too much. You know.
Oh, my God.
I mean, allegedly. You know,
allegedly.
like,
you ever had your taint rubbed correctly? It'll change your life.
Maybe you could teach me a thing or two after the cast, but you know, like, here's the thing. Like, there's that one bad team, and I think it's going to be the Browns. And same thing in the NFC North. I think the Lions lock the division. Spoiler. I think the Lions win the division, but Minnesota is so consistent. They're so good, and their skill positions are lethal. I think they're going to come in second. And I think that, you know, the Packers, if they make the step with Jordan Love, which I think he's fully capable, but I don't think he's going to win the division the first year. Like,
so their defense is still decent. So
their defense is still decent. They have good pieces still. Like, there's plenty enough there to make a playoff push, not necessarily a run. And, you know, like, at the end of the day, like, the Bears could also step up as well. Like, if the Packers suck, I could see the Packers sucking or the Bears sucking. It'd be in a world of other worldly realms that we end up I just read your chat and I noticed it now. Fuck. That both of them suck. Like, I don't think that's a realistic possibility. And I think Justin Fields is good, and I think the Bears got significantly improved. So with that being said, like, those are the type of divisions where you're going to see 2 or 3 teams make the playoffs.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think it would be the AFC East out of all of them. So with that, I mean, dude, it's just Buffalo, Miami, Patriots, and Jets.
No.
I love what the Jets did.
See, like, just like we did it with the other divisions, like, you on paper you think of these teams and the moves that they made in the draft and everything, that, like, they're going to be great, and then you look at their schedule and then you're like, like,
I mean,
it'll be tough.
The Bills,
like,
Patriots, and Jets all had pretty good drafts.
They did.
They did.
Like, all right, so let's look at the Jets schedule. Let's start off.
They got 4.
Well, why don't
they got a couple things working against them, in my opinion. One is bye week is in week 7, and so they got, you know, 11 weeks
right
in a row before. Yeah, so that's bad. And then 2, the way they start before the bye week: Buffalo to open the season, then Dallas, then New England, then Kansas City, then Denver, and then Philly.
Can I say something real quick in response to that?
That's tough. Yeah.
3 out of those 5 teams aren't very physical, though.
I think they can beat Denver and New England and potentially beat Dallas, but that's a toss-up. But I think Buffalo, Kansas City, and Philly are losses.
I don't know. See, I think Buffalo might start slow, so I might give them 4. I might give them Buffalo, Dallas,
Buffalo started slow
New
last
England,
season, so yeah.
and Denver. I'm going to give them 4-2 before their bye week. And then
their schedule's kind of levels out the rest of the way. It's not easy, but it's not hard. It's like every other week. They got the Giants, then Chargers, then Vegas, then Buffalo again, then Miami.
Then Houston,
and Atlanta, Houston. Those should both be wins.
Well, let's ask Shane, because Shane is the Houston lover. Jets or Houston, week 14.
I think I said Houston.
And you're going to stick with it.
I'm going to stick with it. Yeah, I don't. Here's the thing. I think the Jets are a good team. I think they need to develop a little bit more. I'm hot on them. like I still think that they're going to be in a great position moving forward. Zach Wilson really did need that like Aaron Rodgers type quarterback to really teach him like this is how you look at Zach and you see like good mechanics but bad decision making. You know, like he twists at the hip, he keeps his back straight, he keeps his head turning. His head's like a fucking signal ball. You know, you watch it, it's turning.
Then he goes for the wind up and he sees someone's mom in the stands and he's like,
oh, exactly. But his decision making is horrible. You know, he doesn't understand what to watch for on like a cover 2 drop. You know, like a lot of those like Tampa 2, cover 4 types drops, he has a really hard time reading. So if you get him in a position where he's able to learn under
they just need
Aaron
to do
Rodgers,
a check down slant offense. That's how you counter the Tampa 2, and that's like fail safe for quarterbacks. I don't know why no one's tried that with him.
Or hit it in the seam.
Like check down offenses are great for that.
I don't think he had the authority to audible. I think that's what it boils down to. You know, if let's be realistic. I think Aaron Rodgers has a year, maybe 2 left in his tank.
I think,
and then he goes to the Vikings, just like Brett Favre.
Yeah, Brett Favre. Exactly. You got it. Comes out of retirement and everything. But you know, Aaron Rodgers.
With Brett Favre, it was reversed. So he went to the Vikings first, and then the Jets, and finishes.
No.
2009 NFC Championship game with the Vikings, and then 2011 he was with the Jets.
I think that's mixed up, bro.
Well, we will have to look into that.
I'm looking into it right now. You don't.
Yeah, no, he went to the Jets for one season, 2008, and then
2008.
Yeah, 2008.
Oh, yeah,
nice try.
Nice try, buddy.
Then he sent some.
Nice
I forgot that he sent somebody, a cheerleader, a PP pick because he's a piece of crap off the field and on the field apparently.
Yeah.
So like, here's the thing. Like, I think the Jets are in a position to succeed. I think Robert Saleh's seat is going to get a lot less hot than what it currently is. If it is, I don't know what the Jets front office is thinking, but I don't think the Bills win the division. I just don't.
I was going to ask if anyone else agreed with Austin that the Jets win, or if a different team wins. So
I'm gonna say with
Austin
the Jets schedule, with how tight we think the AFC is and how it's gonna be, Cleveland. So like all the teams that are on the hot seat who could potentially get in to the playoffs as a wild card, like week 17 and 18 for the Jets could really decide the fate for 3 different teams in the AFC because it's week 17 against Cleveland and then week 18 against New England. Those are all 3 teams that are borderline maybe can make the playoffs. I think the Jets right now odds are like above borderline. Obviously, a lot of people have them as the favorites. Austin, but
so who would you say wins this division, Travis?
I just loved what I saw from the Jets last year on offense and on defense. And I
think
saw
Buffalo
how many games were lost because of Zach Wilson.
That's true. I think Buffalo is still capable of winning the division, and they probably will. But I think Buffalo still wins it. It's gonna be close though this year.
See, I think it's
just because I think Miami has 2 more wins last year, one against Buffalo. If Tua never gets hurt, and Buffalo has 1 less win, but Buffalo still would have won the division with win-loss last year, but it would have been closer.
Yeah, I'm going. Here's my breakdown. Without looking into their schedules too much, I'm going Buffalo, Jets, Miami, Patriots. That is without a Tua injury. With the Tua injury, Patriots and Dolphins switch.
So you think even if Tua stays healthy, they still don't do much?
I don't think they have enough to overcome the Bills and the Jets, man.
Are you sure? Do you not?
No. Okay, so with Miami, it's a tough one because I don't bet against Aaron Rodgers. I don't bet against.
Okay, so
that defense.
Everyone here in agreement that they had a great defense already.
Yes,
the Jets,
110%.
Or not the Jets, the Dolphins.
Yes, definitely.
And then they added Jalen Ramsey and.
Yeah.
Who else did they add? Let me think.
You already have Xavier Howard.
They got Cam Smith out of South Carolina at 51, and he was a first-round prospect.
They got Deshaun Elliott from the Lions signed there. They have Javon Holland already. They got, and then you have Jalen Ramsey.
Dan Feeney.
On paper, they got the best secondary in the league. And I don't think it's remotely close.
And on paper, they got the 14th best defense overall in the league, or passing defense at least.
I think it'll be better this year.
So okay, let me put it this way: like I love Miami, and I'd love to put them at number 2, but I think it'll be a 1-game difference. So I think the Bills probably end up close to 13, just like they are, and then it'll be like 11 and 10. Like,
so Miami's
defense,
close. Their secondary gave up the 5th most passing yards.
I mean, they just added Jalen Ramsey,
6th most touchdowns, but they have. Where are they at on interceptions? Why can't I see them? How blind am I? Jesus.
You're pretty blind.
And they're
that's why you sit at
28th in interceptions for defense.
And they didn't lose a whole lot on defensive side of the ball.
No, but they
The
added
Dolphins
one great
only-
person. So
Well, I mean, they
how
added
much is their
Jalen
defense
Ram-
going to
hold on.
improve from last
They
year?
I think
added Jalen
significantly.
Ramsey and Malik Reed from the Steelers. They added Deshaun Elliott from the Lions, the safety.
Mhm.
And they added David Long Jr. from the Titans, who's decent as an outside linebacker. And then Taylor Rapp, a safety I liked from the Rams. So, I mean, they added quite a bit. Not to mention they kept Duke Riley, Neek Needham on the defensive side, Justin Bethel,
Where
and Elijah
the Dolphins
Campbell.
did really good
Winkle.
last year was in their rush defense, not their pass offense. But
Yeah, that's
so
why
the-
they went out and just grabbed 3 or 4 different, safety and corner options. I mean, Jalen Ramsey, Deshaun Elliott, and Taylor Rapp are all starting caliber to great players. Elliott was great for the Lions, and Rapp was a good upcoming young player for the Rams. Last 2 years kind
Yes,
of derailed, but
I'm just curious how much that's going to improve their secondary.
And also, don't even think about just now. Like, there's still the odds that they can get Dalvin Cook on offense, especially with the comments that were made by the Vikings today. How the head coach, how he sees Alex Madison as a 3-down back.
funny enough, I was
mean,
going
it
to
might
try to
happen,
trade
but
for
might
him.
not.
For Madison?
Mm-hmm.
No, he's not leaving my team because I have
See-
the potential of walking into a bell cow.
See,
while
that's the
keeping
thing
Dalvin
is
Cook.
you wanted one of my players, and I thought about switching it from the lamos you were adding, and then you went for Miles Sanders, and then I was like, okay, I can honor Miles Sanders and watch him. So okay, let's go to Buffalo, since they're the team I think is going to repeat. This was their draft, first pick, Dalton Kincaid. They went and got a great tight end. They got a guard out of Florida. They got a linebacker out of Tulane. They got a wide receiver, which really isn't going to matter a whole lot at the end of the day.
No.
I mean, he is a big receiver. He's 6'4".
He's a big dude.
He's a
I
big
was gonna
guy.
say 6'4".
He's
I mean, he ran
developmental this year.
Yeah.
We can agree
He's
on
going to be
that.
like
He's not
Gabriel
getting so much
Davis.
field.
For,
If you've watched his tape, he's a really good blocker too.
Yeah, he is.
And then another guard.
He also understands
and
when to break
corner.
off on a QB sneak type thing.
Justin
where,
Shorter could, if they plan on running
scramble
the ball more
situations, he's
and
good.
not using Allen to run, he could be a really good help. Especially why they went with Kincaid as well.
Yep,
Okay,
he
so-
understands. He understands scramble situations very well. I think he could be a very good player, especially if you put him in the slot on certain downs where you might be running an option or you might be running a deep pass, and you might get a couple extra yards on the ground. I think you're 100% right about him being a great blocker. I think he'll see field play, but I don't think he'll see a lot of receptions.
I think
Maybe not. He'll have to
I think
develop.
what's going to determine the ceiling of Buffalo's offense is their second-round pick, Osiris Torrance, because they need offensive guard. He was second best rated in the draft. He's going to be a starter to start the season, and whether or not he hits that potential is going to determine how that offense goes.
I mean,
especially since they're going to move Josh Allen away from. He's still going to run the ball. Obviously, he's too talented not to, but he's going to run the ball less. But they're also going to run more in general's offense, so the running backs are going to get more work. And I think that's why they went with 2 offensive guards, a tight end, a wide receiver that can block really well. I think they drafted to show that too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Torrance only allowed 2 sacks in his whole collegiate career. So that's saying a lot. Plus, he's going to
in
help
the
him to run play.
SEC.
Yes. The Florida, he was for the Gators, SEC, great, thing, whatever, conference. I think Big Ten's
being able
better.
to say
but
that you, I would say, well, in general, being able to say that you played your entire collegiate career and only giving up 2 sacks as an offensive lineman if you play in the SEC or the Big Ten for that career, that's impressive.
Good. Yeah, that's impressive. So
That's true.
I don't like that they lost Tremaine Edmonds, but I hope Dorian Williams will help. But I don't see him being the same player. He did, although, have at least 125 tackles and 5 sacks in 2022. There's only 2 people who did it: Cincinnati's Ivan Pace, and then Williams. So he might be a tackling machine. We'll have to see where they implement him and how they do it. But for the Bills, bye week is week 13. First week is the Jets, then Vegas, then Washington, Miami, Jacksonville, New York, New England, Tampa Bay, Cincinnati, Denver, Jets again, Philadelphia. So 12-week stretch before they get a bye week. By looking at these teams, I'm going to say they're rocking a solid 9-3. I think their 3 losses would be Cincinnati, Philadelphia, and then you guys are going to think I'm crazy, but the first week against the Jets. I think that's a trap game for them. Yeah. I think they, they're slow first week. They underpredict what the Jets can do. They lose that. But other than that, they go on a nice tear until they hit Cincinnati and Philadelphia. I think they go 9-3 in the first 12 weeks. Does that seem unreasonable?
No, I can see them beating Kansas City too in week 14 right out of the bye week, just because in the regular season, Josh Allen and the Bills actually have beat Patty Mahomes. It's just the postseason where they can't beat him.
Here's my thing.
I also don't know about Jacksonville, Benny. I think Jacksonville
you are high on Jacksonville.
I think
I
put up a hell
I
of a
like
fight.
that you're high on Jacksonville because that makes me feel better about having Trevor Lawrence.
No question. Would you say lost to the Jets?
It's not. I would argue more 8-4 just because I don't know Jacksonville. I think it's just going to be a really good game.
Okay, so 9-3, 8-4. That's not far off. What about you, Shane?
Everything after the bye week is pretty. That's a gauntlet.
Mainly just Kansas City and Dallas.
The Chargers can always be tricky. You never know.
They
Depending on what.
True.
Literally since the year 2000, there's 2 Chargers teams that can show up.
Yeah. So Shane, in the first 12 weeks, what I'm saying 9-3, Austin saying 8-4. Travis, I think, is kind of agreeing with me.
Yeah, I can see 9-3.
What about you, Shane?
So I think they take.
I mean, Jacksonville did beat Buffalo last year.
I don't think they take the Jets week 1. I think the Jets are at home, so I'll give them the home win. Jets win.
No, it's at the okay. So Jets, yep.
So 0-1 beat the Raiders, 1-1 beat the Commanders, 2-1. Lose to the Dolphins, 2-2. Lose to the Jags, 2-3. Lose to the Giants, 2-4. Lose to the Patriots, 2-5.
You're just a hater.
I like this.
No, because the Patriots are at home and I think they're going to split. Beat the Bucks, 3-5. Lose to the Bengals, 3-6. And then that's their bye week, right?
No, they played Denver.
You got 3 more games.
Oh, they
Denver, New York again, and Philly.
They played Denver and New York.
They beat Denver
and Buffalo.
So they got 5 wins. Beat the Jets now. They got 6 wins.
And Philly's in Philly.
And then they lose to Philly.
You thinking they're going
6-6.
6-6 off the rip, yeah.
That's surprising. You think they lose to the Giants? I'm a big Giants fan when it comes to Hall of Famer Danny Dimes, but it's at home, and you're going to tell me
Tiki Barber, that's why you like the Giants.
I did love Tiki.
Here's the thing: I think the Giants will match up better with the Bills against the Bills. I think that their offense is going to be much more productive. I think Saquon Barkley is going to have a killer day that game. They lost Tremaine Edmonds. that's a big deal. Like,
Yes.
they run
yes,
a
it is.
4-3. He was their Mike. You know, like, when you lose a legendary Mike like that, you're going to go down in quality significantly on defense. So, like, the Bills' defense to me right now isn't a joke, but it's going to look mediocre to average at best.
So
Like,
none of their
that's what it
draft
boils down to.
picks. Wow, I
Their
guess
saving
there's
grace
only
was
Dorian
keep-
Williams was.
Their saving grace was keeping Matt Milano and Jordan Poyer.
And if
I
you
was
want to
gonna
talk about the
s-
draft
that's
picks,
exactly what I
like
was gonna
Dalton
bring up.
Kincaid is going. I don't think he's like Travis Kelce type. He's not going to improve your offense significantly by him catching the ball, but he's going to be more of like a Pat Fryermuth type or Mark Andrews type that is going to be an all-around tight end that's going to be able to block on the run. That's why his value is so high. His blocking availability is significant. His route running ability is great, but his speed has something to be desired, and also like his catching ability is good. It's just like it feels bad when his route is so slow because he's a slower tight end. But with that being said, like Osiris Torrance, like I'm not too high on him. He is ranked really highly. Like you watch his footwork, it's good. You watch his hand placement, it's above average. You watch his like you watch how he breaks down on the tape. A lot of it is his speed to be able to burst to the outside. He's got a lot of natural talent. He's really raw, in my opinion. Like he could end up being a very good player. I don't think he's a day one starter, honestly. The next pick is going to be Justin
Spicy.
Shorter, who I think, well, you know, his
Wide receiver from Florida, yeah.
Justin Shorter, I think, is going to see snaps. I don't think he's going to see a lot of catches. Nick Broker out of Ole Miss, he's pretty good. Stud at the pick. You know, he was a 4th round projection, I believe. Solid player. He's going to be a depth guy. You know, like, I'm looking, like, this was the Bills draft. I would give like a C+, a B-. You know, like you're not improving a lot, but you're getting those weapons ready later. And that's what they're doing.
Their first 2 picks were decent, and then after that, it was like,
I mean, Justin Shorter was kind of he didn't really live up to his hype from high school because he was like the number 1 recruit.
yeah. But
Like 6
I
years
think
ago.
I think the Bills need Khalil Shakir and Gabe Davis to step up this year, though. If they don't,
Gabe Davis for sure.
And
I don't think they will.
They need to. I don't say they need to. That's going to be the.
No,
because
what's
if
going to
it's-
happen
if
is
it's just
D-Hop.
the Allen and Diggs show again, then it's going to be.
D-Hop.
Shut up about D-Hop.
Dude, if D-Hop comes
D-Hop
here,
to the Bills.
tell me that doesn't tell me that
If
doesn't
D-Hop
sway
goes
you.
there, that'd be beautiful.
Yeah,
They
tell
can't
me that
afford
doesn't
D-Hop.
change.
They can't afford D-Hop.
Yes, it
Yeah,
could.
maybe he wants
The
a
Bills are one of
ring.
the 2 favorites. I think. I just don't
No,
know if
they
D-Hop wants
can't
to play in the
afford him
snow.
financially. They can't afford him financially. Like, they might be able to squeeze him in on a contract, but you
I
want
think
to
that's
keep
why
like
D-Hop
5
wants to go back to Houston because people don't want to give him the money he wants.
Yeah.
I mean, he deserves a lot. Let's not lie.
I think the favorites are the Chiefs and the Bills because everyone that gives them makes them championship favorites, what people would say on paper because what he's done in his career. Then couple it the fact that he'd be playing with the best quarterback he's played with ever.
According to
then you have the Bills and the Browns
have
are the outliers that had a chance, and then he's saying he wants to go back to Houston or he would play back in Houston. But I think the team to watch out for is the Patriots to snag him. Him and Belichick are cool.
Are
with
buddies.
Each other.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're buddies.
So I can see it happening. I mean,
They got a
then
lot
known
of
to
cap space. They
go
need
take
a wide
a
receiver.
begruntled wide receiver that's for a couple years and have him have a resurgence randomly. Randy Moss, see it happen.
110%.
They got
Like,
14
I think-
mil to play with.
If
so
that
I don't know.
happens, I'll take Mac Jones back.
Yeah, and then the
Yeah.
Bills have 1.2 million currently.
Yeah, they don't have a whole lot of cap.
That
space.
the rest of their cap
I
space
wish
is
that I had
literally
lived
just,
a life so luxurious that I would
The-
turn down 1.2
the-
million.
The Bears still have freaking 32 million.
Thing
Well,
is,
a lot of these teams
D-hop
don't
to the
like have.
Bears.
Well, you got to think a lot of these teams have this cap space still, but they don't because a lot of teams that haven't signed all their rookies yet.
Also true.
Oftentimes, rookie reserves is taken into account with the cap space too, as well.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Buccaneers $400,000.
Oh, dude, the Bucks
Damn.
and the Rams last I checked were in bad cap space.
The
the
Bucks and the
Bucks for
Chiefs
sure.
right now are the bottom two. 400,000 and then 650,000 for the Chiefs.
They'll find a place to cut it. So in that case, Buffalo, after going 9-3, in my opinion, they go 9-4, 10-4, 11-4. Do I think they sweep?
It's at home.
Yeah, this one's at home, and I think they can win on the road. So I'll call this one in the trap one. So 11-4, 11-5. We'll go 12-5. They beat Miami at Miami, or they beat
New England. They win one of those two games.
Yeah. So 9, 10, 11, and then either New England or Miami is the 12th. So I think 12-5. So one game worse than they did last year.
I almost kind of agree with that because I think they lose to Kansas City.
Now that brings, if you think that's true, that I want to go right to the Jets. Okay, so the Jets, pretty good draft, as we know. They picked up Will McDonald, the defensive end. Well, I'm going right to the Jets. You want to know why? Because you said the Jets were going to win the division. So I want you to look at their schedule and go, you're going to go first. You're going to go down this whole thing.
We already went over the Jets schedule.
The full Jets schedule or just part of it? We really only got into like a chunk of it. I want Austin to actually break it down. He just said the Bills will go 12-5. I want this on record because he said Jets are going to win the division.
I said 8-4 for the first 12 games. I didn't say anything about the last 5.
Let's you cut me off.
You cut me off before I could say anything else about it.
Let's say it. Let's hear it.
No, you said I kind of agree.
Fucking Lemaire.
You said I kind of agree. So I just
Yeah, because I think they're going to lose to Kansas City and lose to Dallas.
Okay. Oh. So what about the last three?
I think there's a very real chance they go 10-7. They lose to Kansas City, Dallas, and Los Angeles, and then beat Miami and New England.
Okay. That's fine. 10-7, and I went 12-5.
So 10-7 floor, 13-4 ceiling, probably.
So that still leads awesome. What do you think the Jets are going to do if you're looking at their schedule? They have to do better than 10-7, and you're looking at their schedule, aren't you? You're like, where's this trap game? I already said Jets win Buffalo.
They do have
week 1.
4 to 5 favorable games.
They beat Buffalo this week, but they split with Buffalo. I'm going to say they beat Dallas because Dallas traditionally will play better second half of the season. They beat New England because I don't think New England's going to be able to stop them. New England will put up some points, but I don't think New England improves their offense or their defense enough. But specifically their defense. I mean, their offense. Their defense is always going to be, top 15, top 10 type of thing. And they added some good pieces in the offseason and in the draft. So, but I still think they beat New England. And we got a 2-1 right there. Lose to Kansas City 2-2. Beat Denver 3-2. Lose to Philly 3-3. Beat New York because fuck Danny Dimes, he ain't shit. And it beats All Black Justin Herbert. Beats Las Vegas 6-3. Beats Buffalo this time 7-3. Beats Miami 8-3. Beats Atlanta and Houston
7-3.
Loses to Miami this time. Beats Washington, Cleveland, New England.
So you can see 14 wins. 14. You're saying 14-3.
You're saying
I think that's their ceiling. I think
Hmm.
that's their ceiling.
What's their floor?
And I think that's a.
Where's the potential losses that are what you called wins that you can see them possibly losing?
Both the Buffalo I think they could very realistically lose both games to Buffalo. I think they could lose one game to New England, especially when they have to travel to Foxborough for the very last game of the season. I think that could be a potential loss. I think they could lose to the Chargers and the Giants. I think those are both potential losses. So that's potential another 4 losses. So I would say their floor is probably 10 wins.
So you have Buffalo and New York both the same floor at 10-7, but higher ceiling by one or two wins for the Jets. So
yeah,
okay.
I think they'll at least get to 10.
Okay, that's fair.
And I don't think they'll get to 13, 14 wins. Because I think their defense is going to continue to build off of what they did last year. And then there's so many times and so many games and situations with Zach Wilson last year when you said, damn, this dude's in the fucking NFL. Why? and you just see you would just see some of the throws he would do, and you're like, why would you make that read against that defense? And he would like completely overthrow the receiver or underthrow the receiver. And I think he can continue to just build off of that over the year. Yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely a quarterback away from being at least a playoff team. I don't think they're going to make the Super Bowl. I think they'll get to the divisional round or the wild card at least, and then get bounced in the first round.
Yeah, where they have to end up playing Buffalo or Kansas City or the Bengals.
Yep.
As soon as they have
if
to play,
they have to play one of those three teams in the first round, they lose. They get bounced. Now, if they play like Miami or Baltimore or the Steelers, for example, I think it's a little bit more of a coin toss on who wins. They have definitely a little bit better of a chance potentially.
So you think the absolute most, if they get a lucky draw, that they don't make it past the conference finals at the absolute best? Then
no, they don't make it past the divisional.
Ooh.
I think they're probably I don't think they'll make it past the division if they get a wild card. If they go straight into the divisional round, then they'll at least potentially win one game, depending on who they play.
Okay.
So let me rewind it a little bit. I think Josh Allen hit his ceiling. Like, I don't think we're going to see a higher Josh Allen than we currently see. Thing is, with
you talking about real life or fantasy?
Real life. I think he's hit his ceiling in real life. I don't think we'll see a higher tier Josh Allen than we currently have. And the thing is, like, Josh Allen is great, but like also he falls off as the season goes on. You start to see that running game develop. Later on in the season, every year with the Bills, you start to see their running game progress a lot. And Josh Allen's completion rate goes down.
Well, last season he had the same injury that Stafford and Purdy had, but to a lesser degree didn't fully tear. He played like the last 10 games with that same injury in his throwing arm.
Okay. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like
Josh Allen's my boy. I'm going to defend him.
Josh Allen's good, but also like it's one of those situations where it's like he's in elite company right now, but he's not ever going to pass Patrick Mahomes. I think Tua could pass him. I think that there's plenty of quarterbacks in the league. Justin Herbert, Tua Tagovailoa, just Joe Burrow if he's not already past him. Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott still like could have a renaissance on like being elite.
Not if they have Zeke out there playing center.
Yeah, that's true. But like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, he's definitely pushed out a top 5 position. And it's just like, you look at his ceiling, I think he's there. I think they made a lot out of nothing and have a solid quarterback that's going to be the franchise guy for the rest of his career.
So you think he's the Phillip Rivers or the Matt Ryan of this generation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's
gonna have he's gonna have a great Hall of Fame career, but he's not gonna be the one winning all the championships. He might get one.
Yeah, he might get one. But like this season, like honestly, I'm just not high on the Bills. Like I'm gonna run it back to the front real quick. Lose to the Jets, win to the Raiders, win against the Commanders, beat the Dolphins, beat the Jags, lose to the Giants, lose to the Patriots, beat the Bucks, lose to the Bengals, beat the Broncos, beat the Jets, lose to the Eagles, then lose to the Chiefs, lose to the Cowboys, lose to the Chargers, beat the Patriots, lose to the Dolphins. That's what I think their season's going to look like.
Okay.
All right, Ben.
I think they're going to be on the outside looking in on the playoffs. That's where I think that they're going to end up ranking.
I mean, no, I think I don't necessarily like this division. I want all four to make the playoffs. Can that happen for once? Can we make that? Like, I look at all of their schedules. The only ones that I'm okay with them not making is the Patriots.
I
And
literally
that's
can
a possibility.
I can
Some other
literally
teams would
see Denver
Some
starting
other
off
teams would
8-0
have to
before
do
Cincy.
pretty bad.
I can see Buffalo starting off 8-0 before they play Cincy with the
I
only
think so too.
losses to the Jets.
Right.
We also
I think
said the
they
same
got
thing
worse.
last year.
I think they got worse this offseason.
I think they did too, but, like,
significantly.
I don't
Wait,
think
who?
they got significantly worse. The Bills. I don't think they got significantly worse. That's what I'm
I
saying.
think they're just
It's
going to
like-
change their scheme. We're going to see, because if they can still move the ball down the field and preserve Allen's health, and they're just Damian Harris is going to get a lot of goal line touches this year. I think he's going to be in a similar situation. There's been
As
one
the
every. There's been
Patriots?
one every the past. Like, just think about the past 2 seasons. There's always a running back that feasts on goal line opportunities. Last year
James
was Jamal-
Conner.
I was to say last year was Jamal Williams. The year before it was James Conner. I think Damian Harris is in the perfect spot to be that guy this year, especially with the way Buffalo wants to run things this year.
Yeah.
He's good between the tackles, and they can just let James Cook and Naheem Hines use their hands.
All right, Ben. How do you think their schedule's going to play out then? Name off
Which
their
one?
wins and losses.
The Bills?
The Bills.
Yeah, I
You
told
did.
you they're going 9-3 in the beginning, and then they're gonna end up 12-5.
So you still think 12-5? Okay.
I still think they're gonna go 12-5. Like
I'm gonna.
I get your facts. I'm not changing it. I think they're winning this division. Then I think Miami and the Jets are gonna be 10 or 11 win teams and be right behind them. So like, the only one that I see falling is the Patriots, and that I could honestly see them splitting. So like, Philadelphia, I'll give them a loss. Miami, I'll give them a loss. Jets, give them a loss. So that's 0-3 right off the bat. But I think they win against Dallas. This is the Patriots. So now they're 1-4. Then they're 2-4, 3-4, 4-5.
I think they sweep Miami, and I think they go 13-4. Honestly,
You think no, we're talking about the Patriots now because
the Patriots?
yeah, the Patriots now. That's the only team that I can think it isn't going to be a 10+ win team, and I'm going through it right now. So
their schedules, I don't like. I looked at their schedule a little bit ago. And I was only seeing like 6 to 8.
So they go 3-3
think-
in the first 6 games, and then 3-4.
Really?
Yep,
Okay.
3-4,
I
and
can
then
see them going
4-4.
1-5.
I think they split with Miami, the Patriots.
I think they can go. They can start 1-5. Their only win being to Vegas.
Yeah, see, I see them
With
beating
which I
the
think they
Saints
could.
and Dallas.
I think they could beat Miami potentially.
I
And
see
I think,
Dallas
and then I think they
starts
lose
slow.
to Buffalo, Miami, and then I think they win. So I think they go loss, beat New Orleans, or not? No, they lose New Orleans and then beat Vegas. So they're 1-5.
Mm-hmm.
Then lose 2 more, 1-7, and then they win against Washington and Indy 3-7. Go on by. I think they can beat the Giants 4-7, lose to Los Angeles 4-8, lose to Pittsburgh and Kansas City. So that's 4-10. They lose to Denver 4-11. I see 4 to 6 wins.
See, at their bye week, I see 6-4 for the Patriots. Then
I don't think you're respecting their defense, Travis.
Yeah,
I like their defense. I just don't. I mean, I guess with potential, I can see them splitting with Miami. I can see them beating New Orleans, and I can see them potentially beating Denver, and that's about it.
Okay, well, I see a win against the Giants because it's Bill Belichick. So now we're talking 7-4, 7-5, 7-6, 7-7, and then 8-7, 8-8,
So
9.
I think their floor is
9.
8 wins.
You think the
think that's
Patriots
the floor.
floor? Okay, name the 8
It's
wins.
8 wins.
Name the 8 wins.
I think they'll get at least 8 wins. I think
Okay,
they'll get a
name
max
'em.
of 9.
I think this
Name
is
'em.
a decline of Belichick. That's what we're gonna start. Like it's been on.
See, that's the thing. It's hard to
All right.
bet against Belichick.
It is.
All right, so
He's
here we go.
One of the greatest.
Week
ever.
1, lose to Miami. Week 2, they'll beat lose to Miami at home. Or no,
They'll beat Miami at home.
Fuck.
Sound it out.
I went
agree.
I went completely ass backwards. They lose to Philly, beat Miami 1-1, lose to the Jets 1-2. Then I think they're going to contain Dak Prescott with that defense 2-2. Beat New Orleans, beat Vegas 4-2. Lose to Buffalo, lose to Miami, beat Washington, beat Indy,
Yep.
beat New York.
So hold on, right there. You had them going what in the first 10 weeks? You had
I had them losing to Philly,
Miami once.
Miami once. That's 2. I didn't keep track.
What about the
goddamn.
Jets?
1, 2,
You said they were going to
3,
beat
4,
the Jets.
5, 6, 6-4.
Okay, so
Through
we were the same at the bye week. Me and you, 6-4 at the
Yeah.
bye week. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm right with you guys. Yeah, I think that's right.
I think they're going to beat. I think they're going to beat New York right
Same.
after the bye week, 7-4.
I see
I think
3 to
they're gonna
5
lose.
wins before the bye week. That's it.
I think they're going to lose. Los Angeles is a weird one for me to predict.
I put a loss there.
I don't know.
And against Pitt.
It's a weird one because they added some good key players on the Los Angeles side of things. I'm gonna say they win that, and I think they beat Pittsburgh, lose to Kansas City, Denver, Buffalo, beat New York.
You think they beat Pittsburgh?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Of course.
Well, hold on. Did you know
Okay,
Bill
let's-
Belichick for
I'm gonna-
quarterbacks?
No, they don't.
No, hold on. Bill Belichick versus quarterbacks 25 and under is 20-1.
So I think
Is Kenny
Burrow
Pickett
the-
under 25?
I'm looking
Yes.
up right now.
was Burrow's the one that beat him, wasn't he?
I believe
Yeah,
that's
he's under
Burrow.
25.
Yeah.
And,
Burrow and Mahomes.
That Burrow was the only one under 25.
Well, not even. Yeah, not even.
Yeah, not even
let's say-
Mahomes.
okay. So I'm gonna recant. I see 5 or 6 wins now in the first half, just because like their defense, and then I'm looking at their draft, and I really, really like their first 2 picks.
I think
Getting
Los
Christian
Angeles
Gonzalez and Keon White is like,
but
yeah, that's why I was
they
gonna say
also.
Keon White's a stud.
man.
But the Patriots
He shouldn't have
also
fell that far.
added
Oh, great.
Marte Mapu from freaking Sacramento State, who's exactly like Kyle Duggar. He's going to play that safety and he's going to play that nickel linebacker, which is something that the Belichick defense loves and really plays well too.
Yep.
Oh, I stand corrected. It is now 20-6 as of last season for
Yeah, he got messed around
QBs.
last season.
For
I
QBs
think the
under
biggest-
25. But still, like Belichick knows
I
how to
think-
get into a young guy's head.
I think the
That
LA
well, let
Chargers
me
game-
let me say this: if you're going to
The
say
game's
like,
evolving, though. The game's evolving now. So
if you're
and
going to talk
and
about
Belichick hasn't
quarterbacks that
been-
let Belichick get in their head, like Kenny Pickett was so sound at the end of the season last year, and his OTAs has been crazy. Like, I'm high on Kenny Pickett.
All right,
I just didn't want to sound like a lunatic in the AFC North, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers go 13 wins. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised either, but I'm a Patriots fan, so I got to root against them right now.
bro.
All
You're
right, so,
tripping.
random, here we go. Since we got everyone in here right now. In our league, Mac Jones or Deontay Johnson long term. Who would you guys rather have?
Ooh. Mac Jones or Deontay Johnson? Ooh. I'm going Deontay.
I was gonna say, me and Shane have been going back and forth on this for a while.
Deontay only because he leaves the Steelers.
Oh.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mac Jones is great,
100%.
but we know Belichick doesn't give a fuck about your QB. He will put in Bailey Zapp if you're having a couple shit games. And
Bailey Zapp's a fucking stud. He should be starting.
That's
What
what I'm
about
saying.
Bailey Zapp?
So Bailey Zapp could come steal the job, which means Max Jones' value is 0. So I'm going to take the Deontay Johnson.
See, that's why I traded him for Deontay Johnson, because when I had him, I saw that potential. Like, he loses value in my eyes because of the potential of Bailey Zappi.
Bailey
Thing is,
Zapp
I got
actually
Bailey
sucks.
Zapp on my
I was
roster.
gonna say, but he adds value to Shane because Shane's the Zappy owner. So
Yeah,
Bailey Zapp had his chance to steal the starting spot, but
he did essentially. They gave it back because Mac Jones was the first round pick.
they
he
gave
played
it back.
great.
No, they gave it back to Mac Jones because all the players came out in support of Mac Jones and said that Mac Jones
Mac
is their
struggles, guy. Okay, if New England
the players
hits
the
their
players
floor
on offense
that I first said because of the offense's inability to score points with Mac through the first 10 games, that they hit that floor of 3 games that I was first initially predicting. After the bye week, it's going to be Zach.
There's a real QB competition. Like, there is a real QB competition going on in New England, and there's no media on it. But the thing is, like, Mac Zappi or Bailey Zappi. Excuse me, Mac Zappi. Bailey Zappi.
Put them together.
Christ,
Put them
Derpin
together.
Nation.
And they got a good QB.
Bailey Zappi, like, I think he was the second best
From
quarterback
Western
coming out of the
Kentucky.
draft last season. Bro, look at his stats. Look at his stats in college. Look at
He
his
was
throwing
nuts.
motion. Look at his
He was
decision making.
Bro,
He was a rookie last year, and he had a better TD to interception ratio. Like,
let me.
We're talking about a guy that knows how to read NFL defenses, a guy that
played
was
one
a rookie.
game.
So what?
No.
So then, how are you going to say he had a better TD to interception ratio
He did.
off of one game?
Here,
1.5.
Austin. Here we
You
go.
can't judge that stat just off of one game. That's not fair.
Then what am I supposed to judge it on? His college stats? Because if I judge it off his college stats,
not
he's a Hall of
NFL
Famer.
stats.
Okay, he's a Hall of Famer then.
Okay, so
You
last
also had
season
5-3. That's not that good.
Okay.
That is good. What? 5 tutties? Are you kidding
Touchdowns
me?
and
What
3
the fuck?
interceptions?
So what? Yeah, that's insane. Over
Let's
a
see
game
you
and a
do
half
it.
span.
Let's see you
Out
do
for
it, Austin.
92 attempts? That's not that good.
Austin,
for
let's see
an
you
That is
do
NFL
it.
really
quarterback.
good. That is really
What
good in the
NFL
Patriots
quarterback-
offense. The Patriots
No,
were
it's
running
not.
fucking West Coast.
That's not good in the Patriots offense.
So Austin,
That
you want to
is?
hear
What do
Bailey
you
Zappi's
mean?
numbers last season?
What
Or
are they?
when he played in Western Kentucky for his
I don't
senior
give a shit about
his
Western
last
Kentucky.
season in college. He was actually legit. And yes, he played at Western Kentucky, but I'm going to back that up after this. Like, look at his bulk stacks: 62.9% completion for 5,967 yards,
All 6 games.
62 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. Okay, he led the country in touchdowns and yards, and the thing is, his best games statistically of the season were against his hardest competition when they were playing Michigan State, when they played Illinois. Like he played best against the better competition, and his tape was good. He's good, honest. Like, unless Mac Jones makes a jump this season, the offense is significantly like 3 to 4 points better per game.
With Bailey Zappi.
If they're losing games because the offense isn't keeping up with the defense, like if their defense is keeping them in games and they're routinely only scoring 10 to 14 points, Mac Jones is going to lose his job this season.
Only if he gets injured.
No
way.
I'm calling it now.
No. If they only have if they have 3 to 4 wins going into the bye week, and Mac Jones has been a significant reason from that in the offense, it's from week 12 moving forward. It's Zappy.
I disagree. I only think Mac Jones will lose his job this season due to injury.
Due to injury.
I think if the
Wow.
Patriots aren't as good as like, I think they get like 8 wins this season. By the way, so like I think if the Patriots get 8 wins this season, Zappe's going to be the starter.
They do need to make a jump.
You're a New England fan, buddy. Like I'm telling you, you guys have a great quarterback.
I am a New England fan, and I don't think Mac Jones or Bailey Zappi are the answer.
Bailey Zappi can be the answer. I'm telling you that right now. Watch his tape. Watch his tape.
I think Zappi's going to get at least half a season to show. I think he's going to get that opportunity at least.
No, Bill Belichick has already showed that he doesn't give a shit. He will draft a quarterback before
the
he gives you a
man's got
shot.
6 rings. He doesn't give a shit.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He would
He's just
draft
there for
a quarterback
now. I think. I personally, I think that Belichick's just there for a paycheck now. I mean, he still is a great coach and everything, but I don't think he's been the same competitively the last couple seasons. I don't think he cares as much anymore.
Belichick would rather just ride with one quarterback and then draft one before he has any kind of QB controversy in his season.
I agree. I don't see Belichick wanting that. So, but anyways, definitely need to clip that because I need to make sure when the Patriots absolutely flounder and only get 4 wins, just like my Colts did this year, I can sit here and I can laugh at Austin and say, "How's that fucking pick?" When they draft another QB.
It's your turn. I've spent the last 25 years of my life being a Lions fan, and you've been, a Patriots fan, so it's time to flip flop.
Hey man, it feels pretty good when our worst season is 8 and 9.
Hey, being a Steelers fan, I don't even know what that looks like.
We used to pray for that over here in the D.
Yeah, I don't know what it feels like to go 0-16.
I would say the Patriots have more Super Bowl wins since the year 2000 than the Lions have playoff appearances.
Jesus.
So
yeah, in the 1 year they went to the playoffs, they got slapped by the Saints.
Yep.
So
top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo Jets, Miami Patriots. With
Buffalo,
the potential, but that's me saying that because I don't think Tua makes it through the season. If Tua does
Buffalo Jets, Miami Patriots.
If Tua makes it to the season, I can see Miami possibly being the 2 seed because they beat Buffalo last year with Tua.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Same. So Buffalo
with Tremaine
Miami.
Edmonds.
So I think Dolphins, Jets, Buffalo, Patriots.
Ooh.
So you guys all three are pretty much the same.
Yeah, we just have.
Well, mine was pretty different.
Well, yeah, he did have Miami Jets, and then Buffalo.
Austin. It takes Austin a second.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
He's still got dial up.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm going Jets, Bills, Dolphins, Patriots. I'm still right.
So everyone has Patriots on the bottom.
Yep.
Yeah, they are the worst team in the division on paper.
But here's the thing.
That's right. Go fuck yourself.
I think the Patriots.
You have the worst team in your division on paper, Ben. Shut the fuck up.
No, I have the worst team in the NFL. Put some respect on the name.
No, I think
not even close.
No, I'm a bold prediction now for saying on paper the worst team in the league going into the next season, Arizona Cardinals.
Ooh,
yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I'd probably.
If not the worst, one of the worst.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's not them or it's
I
Washington.
think Arizona's a lock for absolute best.
Second
Washington,
they're a lock for a top 3 pick. Arizona.
Okay, but down there tied is the Buccaneers because fuck Baker Mayfield.
No. I think number 2 would be Washington.
I don't agree with that.
Like if it's not Cardinals, it's got to be Washington.
I think
you have confidence in Sam Howell?
I think they're off.
I think the Raiders.
I think their defense was decent, and there's more weapons on the offense for Washington to do better than the Panthers.
I think the Raiders are going to be below them.
I think the Raiders could potentially be below them. Yes.
No, Raiders are gonna.
And I think there's I don't know. I think Chicago's Chicago's like New England. They got a good defense. I do like what Chicago's defense is good. It's all going to depend on the quarterback's play, is what the record's going to be.
How it always is.
Like I don't know. I got the Colts.
I think Tennessee's going to be bad.
The
Broncos are going to be fucking lighting it up. I can't wait to get to that division. AFC
We
West.
said the same
or
shit. We
Packers.
said the
That's
same
next
shit
Tuesday.
last year, Ben.
But here's the thing:
I
Russell
don't
Wilson
like the
had to
Falcons.
play
No, not next
bad.
Tuesday.
Cardinals I don't like.
Yeah, Broncos.
I think Russ is overrated as crap.
I agree, but he had to play bad so he could get the head coach he wanted. If he made the playoffs, they keep that head coach.
All right.
He didn't want
Let's not get too deep
Just
into that
saying.
division.
Alrighty,
We'll get to
anyways.
it. We'll get to it on Monday, right, or Tuesday?
Tuesday. No,
So-
AFC West on Tuesday.
Yep.
So thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, comment. Also, go show some love to Derpa Nation on Twitch and on the YouTube.
Join the Discord.
Join the
our
Discord.
Discord. We can join a link right to his Discord as well. Go give him some love.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And if
Guns
you're lucky,
down,
you
gloves
might
up.
see him in a dark magician suit.
Amen. Everyone clip it. Everyone clip it.
This drink's for you.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
That
This
was a
drink's for
terrible
you.
salute.
Sweet summer child.
That was a terrible.
What do
He
you got
still
called?
hasn't hit the outro. He's still just going.
I saw that terrible salute. I was like, what was that?
What?
Bro?
What's
We
a good
salute
salute
you.
look like?
Goodbye.
Asshole.
Solid. God damn it.